Coach Troy here from the Metro Lutheran Ministries Financial Opportunity Center. You're watching our series on improving your financial health. Now, before you can begin to think about what actions you're willing to take in order to improve your financial health, you have to ask yourself this question. It's crucial. Why? You see, changing financial habits is hard. It's difficult. So we have to be able to understand, why are you going to do it? Why do you want to improve your financial health? Now, there's as many answers to that question as there are people asking the question. Sometimes people are struggling with finances, and they figure if they find enough income or assistance or whatever, that things will be great. Sometimes they have other goals, such as being able to take their family on a vacation. Maybe they want to retire a little earlier. You see the other pictures, it's pretty obvious. There's lots of reasons why you might want your financial health to improve. But for any action, the reason is important. That why comes back again. You know, there are people every day that go to work that are unhappy with the job that they have, but they stay at it and they keep doing it even while they try to find something else. Why? Because they know they need money to pay the rent, buy groceries, and so forth, and quitting their job without having a new job ready to go would seem foolish to them. They know their why. When it comes time to improving your financial health, that why needs to be strong enough to motivate you to do the hard work that's involved. I've always liked this analogy. Imagine that there's a girder in between two buildings on the 30th floor. You're at one end. Would you cross that girder for $10? Now, most people laugh that off. No way would I risk my life for $10. But what if your child or grandchild was on the other end of that girder and you had 2 minutes to get across and keep them safe? Would you cross the 9-inch wide girder then? Now understand, I'm terrified of heights. Even putting this picture into the slideshow just about drove me crazy. You see, I figure at 6 feet 4 inches, I'm as high as I ever need to be. Ever. So being 30 stories up would absolutely terrify me. There's nothing that would get me to cross that 9-inch wide girder. Except for someone I love and care about being in danger on the other end. In that case, I'd figure out how to get it done. That's the idea behind figuring out your why for improving your financial health. You see, there are those who have struggled with their financial health. And they, in many cases, have been struggling for a while. So, unless they have a strong motivating why, they know they can always fall back into what they've done before. Now, they don't enjoy struggling with money, but over time, it's become familiar. It's what they know. You know, there was a homeless person who was finally able to get assistance and was housed. And this person literally spent the first 3 weeks after being moved in sleeping in the backyard in a tent. Why? Because this person couldn't immediately cope with having a roof over their head. They couldn't stand not hearing the sounds that had become familiar. Now, this person eventually moved inside, but the point is, it took time and effort, even to do something as seemingly normal as sleeping under a roof, for someone who was familiar and used to doing something otherwise. Why do you want to increase your financial health? You need to take some time and think about it. Perhaps it's a matter of a goal. I want my financial health to be better so that I can afford to own a working car and to get a better job. I don't know. But you need to find your why so that when it gets difficult to make that budget work, when you face a crisis, you can double down on what needs to be done and stay on track, rather than just giving up and falling further down the rabbit hole of debt. You know, your why wasn't meant to be an easy, quick to come up with answer. You notice the example didn't just state to get a car. That's short term, but owning a car requires gasoline on a regular basis, money for repairs and maintenance, new tires once in a while, taxes on the car every year, insurance on the vehicle, paying for tags. See, the vision was to be a place with my financial health that not only could I afford to buy a car, but I could afford to keep and operate the car. Speaking of cars, think back on the image of someone that you love if they were in danger. Think about how motivated you would be. And we've heard stories like this one many times, where a woman was able to lift a car off of her son. Why? Well, in the cases where that happens, that love of their child, that meaningful goal, plus a healthy dose of adrenaline, I'm sure, gave them the strength and the power to do what would have been impossible moments before. That's how important finding your why is to your success in improving your financial health. Now, once you've figured out what your why is, what motivates you, you could create a motivation or vision board. Pictures, words, and phrases that will remind you of that why when you get tired and you get frustrated. And once you have that firmly implanted into your mind, your heart, and your soul, you're ready for the next piece of hard work, looking honestly at your beliefs about money. But that's the topic of our next video. If you'd like to work with one of the financial coaches at Metro Lutheran Ministries Financial Opportunity Center, all you have to do is contact us. By email, it's troy.wolfmeyer@mlmkc.org, or you can call 816-285-3131. We can set up appointments either in person or virtually. We can complete paperwork online, and we can even meet off-site if necessary. It only takes you deciding that you are ready to do the hard work of getting your financial health to improve. The next series, or the next video in this series, is on understanding what you believe about money. We'll see you next Wednesday.